Well, I'm back. Barcelona was an absolute blast. And today's vlog is going to be all about what we did, what we saw, and more importantly, what did I buy? I've just come back from Barcelona. It wasn't just a fabric trip, it was a cultural trip and a general shopping trip as well, all rolled into one. So, we'll start off by talking about how we got there. We flew from Manchester Airport in the northwest of the UK. We flew with EasyJet Airlines. Our flight was at the crack of dawn at 6:30 in the morning. So we had to be at the airport for 4:30 at the latest. So yeah, it was a bit of an early start, but we got there, we got checked in, everything went smoothly, bag drop was brilliant, grabbed a coffee and a cheeky croissant at the airport, and then we were off on our flight to Barcelona. So because we left so early in the morning, we were actually there, we landed there an hour in front. So it was 10 a.m. in the morning when we landed in Barcelona. We grabbed a cab outside, there were loads of cabs available, and it was about 30 odd euros for a taxi into the city. So we were in Barcelona for 11:15 in the morning. Now, my only dilemma was we'd booked an apartment. We weren't in a hotel. We booked it through booking.com. So I was a little bit worried about getting access to the apartment. The communication from the apartment owners and the letting agent who let us in and helped us out while we were there was absolutely brilliant. They WhatsApped us information before we arrived. They WhatsApped when we arrived and said the earliest that we could gain access to the apartment was 11:30. So we had 45 minutes to kill. Lucky for us, we were in the Gothic quarter of the city and not far, well, hop, skip and a jump to the end of the road that we were on, and there was a patisserie. So we went in there, grabbed a coffee and some brunch to get us going for the day. And then we were ready to meet the agent round the corner at our apartment. So I'll just pop some images up of the apartment that we stayed in. It was the Gothic Ramblers apartment, booked it from booking.com. Very secure apartment, lovely, nice, comfy beds, which is the important thing. It wasn't all singing, all dancing, because we just needed a base. We were going to be out and about all day, every day, just dropping back for a quick pit stop, get changed and go out for an evening meal and then back to sleep and then back out for the day. So we didn't want to pay premium prices for something that we probably weren't going to use very much. I think we paid £775 for our 2-bedroom apartment, and we had it for 4 nights. 3 of us. So really good value, I think. It was in the Gothic quarter, 2 minutes walk to the Ramblers, and all the experience of being in the Gothic quarter of the city was right on our doorstep, absolutely perfect. So day one was retail therapy time, and we spent all day shopping on the Ramblers, which is the main shopping street in Barcelona, and it goes on forever. I did buy some things, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you everything that I bought in Barcelona all in one go. So we went in Pull&Bear, we went in Zara, we even had a cheeky look in Primark just to see if it was any different over there. We didn't do high-end shops because our budget wouldn't allow it. So we shopped in the shops that we could afford. But there's something for everybody from a retail point of view. Everybody is covered. If you want the high-end shops, you can go and look in Louis Vuitton, you can go and look in Chanel. We stayed away from those shops, but they are there if you want them. Day 2, we went on our fabric hunt day. And we went to Reeves and Casal, we went to Donna Textiles, we went to Julian Lopez, and we went to Merceria Santa Ana, which is a brilliant haberdashery shop and amazing for buttons. So I'll pop a little map up here. They were all fairly close to each other, all within 5-6 minutes walk of each other. They were a 20-minute walk from our apartment, and then we were there in the thick of it. So we only planned to go to 4. There are a lot more. I believe there are over 30 fabric stores in the city of Barcelona, but clearly we need to go back and try a few more of them. We only allocated 1 day for fabric shopping, which we felt was more than enough because we wanted to do other things as well. So, Reeves and Casal. I recorded a little bit of the inside of the store, which I will pop up now. They have everything in there you could possibly want on a fabric front. They even have a haberdashery section downstairs. They, I think, were between seasons when we went in. I actually didn't buy anything in Reeves and Casal, but well worth a visit. The way they work their system, you get a personal assistant, shop assistant, who helps you when you start buying around the store, cuts all your fabrics as you go, and then you take it to the till at the end to pay. Really good system. And yeah, I don't know why I didn't buy anything, but maybe next time. The second shop that we went to was across the road from Reeves and Casal, and it was Donna Textiles. Wow, their window display really inspired us. We were buzzing before we even got inside the shop. And I picked up and chose several fabrics and hummed and hawed about them. So I ended up not buying anything there either. Shock horror. The one fabric that I really wanted to buy, they didn't have in a colour that I wanted, and they had a boucle that was boucle on one side, a moleskin on the reverse. Steph bought some in a beautiful neutral colour. They only had 4 colours, and I wanted it in a autumn green colour, and they didn't have green, so I walked away. I resisted. I think the main reason I didn't buy anything in either of the 2 shops we visited first was because the next shop was one that I've never been to before, and it's Julian Lopez. So off we went there, and oh my goodness, it did not disappoint. It's quite a stylish shop inside, very, very well organised, lots of fabric, oh my goodness, and lots of high-end fabrics as well. So they were all mixed in, so you had to check the prices, look at one and it said €100 a metre, look at one next to it and it said €15 a metre. So you just really had to rummage in the different sections. They had a huge Liberty section, if Liberty is your thing. They had a big offer on Liberty. Not something that I would choose. I would probably buy it in the UK because it's come from the UK. That's how my brain works. But I did buy 3 fabrics in Julian Lopez, and I'll show you them at the end. So the last shop that we went into was Merceria Santa Ana, which is a haberdashery store, bar none. It was really well organised. If you couldn't find the buttons you wanted in there, you're not going to find them anywhere. I bought buttons to go with the 3 fabrics that I bought so that I could make blouses and shirts and everything matched. So it was really organised. There's nothing worse than starting to sew something and not being able to find the right buttons, so I got that covered. Really, really helpful people in that shop. Absolutely loved it. So that was day 2 done. Day 3, we went to Park Guell, which is the Gaudi Gardens in Barcelona. Now, it is 3 kilometres away from where we were staying, so we got all extravagant and jumped in a taxi. The taxi cost about 16 euros for 3 of us to get there, so when you're sharing it between you, not too bad at all. The reason we got a taxi is because it's up a steep hill, and if you get the hop on hop off bus, as I've done before when I visited Barcelona, it is a long uphill walk to get to the Gaudi Gardens. So we decided we were going to treat ourselves and we got a cab there. What can I say about the Gaudi Gardens or the Park Güell? If you go to Barcelona and you have a nice day, it is a great place to visit. Lots of walking, lots of beautiful architecture to look at. It's not just the plant life. Fantastic views out over the city. And just a really chilled, relaxing day. But lots of walking. So that was our day 3. Day 4, we did the hop on, hop off bus to do a whistle stop tour of all the main sites in Barcelona. So we stopped off at the hospital that they recommend you go and look like round. It's an old hospital in its grounds. I'll put the name of it below because I can't remember. And it's really, really interesting. There's about 10 buildings all in a complex that you can go and look inside. And the architecture is just amazing. The concept of the hospital was that people needed nice surroundings to help them to recuperate. And I've got to say, I think we should be having hospitals that are like this now. I would check myself in, absolutely no problemo. But it's closed. It's obviously just a museum for people to go and look around. There were some really interesting things that we found out, and it was even the first place that a bone marrow transplant had happened. There were garden areas. We even got down to go in the tunnels that led to the theatres, and they were all just, everything was just so nice, relaxing, a really calm feel to it. So that was our first stop off the hop on, hop off bus. I will pop the route of the bus that you can do. There are a lot of places that you can get on and off that bus, but we obviously in a day you can't do it. So we spent a couple of hours wandering around the hospital. Then we walked from there down to Sagrada Familia. If you don't know what that is, it's the place that you need to go and visit in Barcelona. They are still working on it, and I believe it's going to be finished next year, so maybe I need to go back. Unfortunately, tickets for Sagrada Familia to get sold out very quickly, and we did not get our tickets. If it's the one thing I did wrong, it was not getting tickets for Sagrada. So if you're going to Barcelona, my one tip is book your tickets for Sagrada Familia way in advance and don't be disappointed. We did get to look around the outside, which is absolutely amazing, and some images of it will pop up here so that you can see. But yeah, didn't get to go inside because I wasn't organised enough, but never mind, we'll just have to go back when it's finished. So the next stop was Montjuïc Castle. We got off the bus for the cable car ride up to the castle. Well worth doing, views to die for. Not a huge castle site, but very interesting visit indeed. So we were there about an hour and then got the cable car back down. You can get the cable car one direction and then walk back if you want, but we chose to do it both directions because we were time limited. There's lots to do up near Montjuïc Castle. We didn't have time, and we will definitely go back to that area again when we go back to Barcelona. So the bus that we got on, the hop on, hop off bus, when we got off, we had to get off at the top end of the Ramblers and we were at the bottom end because it was getting to the end of the day. So we had a bit of a schlep back to our apartment. So decided to stop for our evening meal halfway back and had a lovely meal just off the Ramblers. Don't go to restaurants directly on the Ramblers. Go down the side streets and explore, because there are some really, really good value and quality restaurants not on the main street. So after a good night's sleep, day 5, we had to pack. We weren't flying home until nearly 10 o'clock at night. So we took our bags to a bag drop shop, left them there for the day. I think it cost us €20 for the 3 of us to leave our cases all day. And then we just wandered around the Gothic quarter, did a little bit more retail therapy, had a lovely lunch opposite the cathedral, and just generally chilled because we had a long journey home. So that was it. Back to the airport by 6 p.m. Flight was on time. Back in Manchester at just gone 11 o'clock at night. Got home to bed about 1 in the morning. But we had an amazing trip. The one thing I forgot to tell you about was we actually did a Vivaldi Four Seasons concert. It was taking place in a church round the corner from where we were staying. It lasted about an hour. But my goodness, it was amazing. So I'll pop a clip of that up now for you to see just how talented the people were who put this performance on. So, shall we talk about what I bought in Barcelona? It wasn't all fabric. In fact, fabric was only a small part of what I bought. I needed some winter boots, so I was on the hunt for those. I always love buying jewellery, so if I saw some unusual jewellery, I was definitely going to buy that. Obviously, fabrics and buttons. I love buying buttons, so a few buttons were bought as well. So let's start with the boots. This is the first pair of boots that I bought. They've got a sleeve, they're like, is it a cuff? A sleeve? What do you call it? This that goes all the way around. Design. Stud work on them in rose gold. Quite a low heel because I can't wear heels these days and I wanted to be able to wear them all day. They are a suede finish on them. And these are going to be my dressy brown boots for this winter. They cost €65, so, you know, not the cheapest, but not the most expensive boots you can buy. They're really comfy, and I'm hopefully going to slot them into my wardrobe this winter because I've done a lot of neutrals and browns and greens. So these boots are going to go really well. And then, just because I could, I bought a second pair of boots. Look at these babies. Oh my goodness, they're going to see me coming with these on, aren't they? They just sung to me when I walked in the shop and saw these. Again, they're another low boot. They're not as high. They're a high ankle boot, but not a very big heel on them. So they're going to be really practical, great for going round the stitch shows, aren't they? Comfy but stylish. And yeah, the colours are going to go with everything I've got in my wardrobe. These were slightly more expensive. I think they were €130, but look at those babies. I just could not resist. Now, clothing wise, I bought one item. I love going around the retail stores and getting inspiration for my sewing, but I don't necessarily buy the garments because being vertically challenged, I'd have to alter them anyway. But I did buy a jumper or top, a knitted top. This is it. It's in my winter colour of green, and it's got some beautiful detail around the neck and at the end of the 3/4 sleeves. So it's got wool, angora in it, lovely and snuggly, and I paid £27.95 for that in euros, so about £24-25 in Zara. Absolutely love it, and I know I'm going to wear it loads. So let's talk about the fabrics that I bought. I bought all my fabrics in Julian Lopez, and I think it was because I hadn't been there before. I was saving myself for it, but I bought 3 fabrics in total. 2 of them were in the sale. So these are the 2 that I bought. They're in a cotton viscose mix. They've got, you can't see I don't think, but they've got a weave through them with a bit of a dobby weave in them. And they were in the sale at €3.50. So it would have been rude not to buy them from about €18. Bargain or what? So I got the blue and I got the red and grey version of this fabric as well. And I want to make 2 shirts or blouses in them. I quite fancy doing a blouse. I'm looking at blouses with pleats and pin tuck detail in them at the moment. So possibly going to use a pattern with that sort of detailing. If you want to see my pattern choices that I'm looking at, I've got a vlog coming out on Thursday, which is all about blouses with pin tucks and pleat details in. So stick around for that. And if you're not subscribed and you want notifying when that vlog comes out, subscribe to my channel and then you'll get notified of it. So these 2 fabrics are going to be shirts or blouses, possibly with pin tuck details in. If you've got a blouse pattern or a shirt pattern you'd recommend me using this fabric in, let me know. And then, I got this fabric. Oh, it's to die for. It's a viscose satin, very floaty as you can see because it keeps falling off my neck. It's got a fleur-de-lis pattern in it. The background is a plum colour or an aubergine, and it's got golds and greens and burnt oranges in it. Lots of beautiful colours. Now, I've got 2 pattern options for this one, and I either want to make the lyrical blouse, which is there, or the spill the tea blouse, which is there. Can't decide which one to use, so let me know in the comments which one you would make this fabric up in, and that's the one I'm going to make. So they're my fabrics. This was not cheap. It was €19 a metre, and I got 1.5 metres. So it's not going to be a cheap make, but it's going to be a memorable make for my visit to Barcelona. So just 3 fabrics purchased. How good was I? So I've not built up my fabric stash by a huge amount, and I'm feeling good about that. The last thing that I wanted to buy in Barcelona was some nice jewellery, and Barcelona did not disappoint. Just let me grab the beautiful jewellery that I purchased. Now, I got all these in the same shop called Festo Pazzo. They're the earrings. They're all done in recycled aluminium, and the ones that I picked have got a copper plate on them. So look at those beautiful earrings. Absolutely love those. And I also got the matching bracelet for the earrings. Look how sparkly that is. But then they also did the necklace as well, and I thought that was just going a little bit too much for me. It would make it an evening wear set, and I don't go out in the evenings very much these days, so to tone it down a little bit, I got a link chain copper necklace to go with them. So they're my 3 items. They do have an online shop, so I will pop the link for this shop below, because they had some to die for jewellery, and I would totally recommend having a nosy. So there we go, Barcelona, all done. Whistle stop tour. It was just the most amazing trip. Great to go with girlfriends. We all wanted to do the same things. It all worked out super well. And we could have stayed longer. And indeed, we'll probably go back. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed my vlog, then please consider subscribing. I am that close to 5,000 subscribers, and it means the world to me. It doesn't cost you anything. It just means that you get notified when I put vlogs out, and you find me easier to find on YouTube. So if you want to watch more of my vlogs, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all on Thursday when we're going to be talking all about pin tucks and pleats. So have a lovely sewing week, and I will see you all soon. Bye!